All right, my devoted darlings of this dramatic and divine yaoi, ensure your teacups are full and your emotional support plushies are within reach. This is Cece from Zealed Fujoshi, the podcast where we don professional blazer over our Fujoshi hearts to dissect, discuss, and sometimes just deeply sigh over the intricate world of boys' love. We're continuing our rather intense journey through Mingwa's Jinx. We've navigated the turbulent waters of chapter 54 and 55, and now we are steering ourselves for the next installment, chapter 56. For now, joining our Jinx expedition, this powerhouse manhwa by the incredible Mingwa throws us again into the ring with the formidable MMA champion Joo Jaekyung, a man whose brooding intensity is matched only by his emotional unavailability. And of course, his physiotherapist Kim Dan, who is navigating a minefield of death, duty, and dangerously deep feelings. It's a masterclass in tension, power dynamics, and the kind of angsty, slow burn romance that keeps us refreshing eyes heavily invested every week. Okay, chapter 56, alright? Knowing Mingwa and knowing where we are likely left off in chapter 55, which, if memory serves me right, was probably fraught with tension or a heart-stopping moment. The chapter 56 is not going to be a gentle easing in. Oh no, Mingwa tends to throw us right back into the emotional crucible of Jinx. Yes. This has all the hallmarks of a direct continuation. Anyway, there's an immediate feeling in this page or chapter. The atmosphere is thick, almost suffocating. The artsy, as always with Mingwa's work, is likely doing the heavy lifting here. And if Jaekyung is he depicted in a way that emphasizes his dominance, his control, or perhaps his rare crack in his armor? Look for shadows, the lines on his jaws, the intensity in his eyes. Mingwa conveys so much through these subtle details, a skill honed over the years in the industry and something that separates the good from the truly great. We have seen character designs evolve so much in yaoi in recent years, from the sometimes overly bishonen styles of the 90s to this more realistic yet still incredibly aesthetic portrayals, which Mingwa has mastered over the years. This chapter finally focuses on Kim Dan. My heart is probably already aching. Is he looking overwhelmed? Is there a sense of inability in his expression? Mingwa is exceptional at portraying vulnerability without making a character seem weak. Dan is very resilient in his quiet strength, but chapters like this, especially on certain pages, often reminds us of the immense pressure that Kim Dan is under. The framing is key. Is he cornered literally or maybe metaphorically? The background stark and the cold emphasizing colors, really isolating even if Jaekyung is present. Chapter 56 is designed to grab you by the throat and remind you exactly where you are. We are deep in the Jinx territory, ladies and gentlemen, where emotion runs high and every moment is critical. It's likely a direct response to whatever cliffhanger or poignant beat chapter 55 left us on. There's no fluff. There's no preamble, just pure, unadulterated Jinx. It's the kind of opening that makes you immediately grateful that the next page is just a click away, even as you're terrified of what might hold on that next chapter. This chapter is it's a visual storytelling, let's be honest. I respect every reader's investment in this chapter. It doesn't waste a single panel, that I can guarantee you. And now from, the artist precise incision, let's turn into a collective gasp, maybe cheer or anguish cry of the fandom. It's time to explore chapter 56 in, what my main thoughts were of this chapter without giving too much spoilers. Jaekyung, I really wish that he would start using his words and treat Dan with a shred of decency, because it's quite telling. This man really needs therapy, not another conquest, to be honest with you. And a little bit of sadness for Kim Dan. There's a lot of suffering. He is quietly defiant now, but we can all see that our precious Kim Dan is a broken angel. The way he looks, his specific actions in this chapter, even the expressions he would show in this chapter, is just shattering my heart into a million pieces. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who feels that they want to protect him at all costs. But then again, there's a part of me reading this chapter that keeps on telling, this is a classic Fujoshi chapter where you'll see a classic, he's a walking red flag, but the flag is sexy type of things going on in this chapter. I do acknowledge the problematic aspects while still being drawn to the character. It's a complex fan relationship, let's be honest. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one in this boat. That has been a big part of the Yaoi fandom for ages. These possessive semi-archetypes of yours to today's more psychologically nuanced leads. But anyway, that's pretty much chapter 56. And no way that the next chapter isn't explosive, but let's be honest, this cliffhanger is pretty brutal. Mingwa knows how to play with our emotions, people. Chapter 56 was a roller coaster from start to finish. I love and hate Mingwa for it, but what can I do? Just when I think things might get a little calmer in this chapter, Mingwa just knows how to hit us with this chapter. She's a master of tension, truly. It's a sentiment born from years of following this author, who specializes in emotional intensity. Fans of older, more melodramatic series from the 90s and early 2000s would recognize this feeling really well. I'm pretty sure I'm not alone. Anyway, that's all, my dear listener. Today, we are bringing this chapter to a close. Chapter 56 of Jinx certainly gave us a lot to feel and think about, didn't it? What were your standout moments or biggest frustrations from this chapter? I would genuinely love to hear your insights. Connect with us in the usual podcast comment section, and don't hesitate to share your thoughts. Your engagement is what makes this community thrive. Thank you, and see you next week.